Hey there, Drew with Auditing Reno 911. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it. Now more of the ongoing story of life since the government decided to start making fake regulations and enforcing them. And I started to record them and document and share with the world the story of it. So this one's a little bit different. I'm going to share with you a telephone call that I had with somebody that called the other day. I got a call from my office saying, hey, there's somebody from saying they were a reporter and they want to talk to you. And I said, well, go ahead and give them my cell phone number. So I went ahead and gave them my cell phone number, and this is the call recording with I and the quote reporter, end quote. They can be a reporter, I can be a reporter. We're all journalists. Just tell your story and tell the truth. That's all that I ask. So anyways, you get to see a little bit of the countryside as I'm driving along here. I appreciate the views. Subscribe, like, share it around, let people know the story. And for those of you that didn't see the post that I put on YouTube, there I did get somebody that seemed to be sending felt kind of a threatening tenor to it from a Facebook person. Anyways, they're watching me. Lots of interesting people are watching me. People that agree, people that disagree. Everybody's entitled to their own views and opinions. I just appreciate the time that you give me and the consideration that you put out there. And y'all make your own decision. Is our government operating correctly? Is it operating incorrectly? Talk to you later. Hello, this is Drew on a recorded line.
Hi, Drew. Andrea gave me your number. This is independent journalist calling on a recorded line.
Oh, good. I like recordings.
Yeah. So, Drew, it's an interesting story you have there about being arrested at the jail. I was just wondering what prompted you to go to the jail to record the outside of the jail.
Just exploring government, exploring our constitutional rights, and gather information on what our government's doing and how they're overreaching the Constitution.
Well, in all fairness, do you think a lot of people want to go wander around the outside of prisons recording them?
No, that's not something the average person is going to have the nerve to do.
But I mean, regardless of whether they have the nerve to do it, do you think that there are loads of Americans just yearning, but afraid to go wander around the outside of prison property recording?
I have no idea what other people are yearning to do. I can only guess based on what I see and how I feel. Everybody's a unique person. They've got their own life story, their own goods, their own bads. It's not for me to judge what everybody else wants to do.
Yeah, I just haven't seen a lot of, interest in doing that on the weekend. They might want to go to a picnic or something instead of wandering, but to each their own.
Well, on the other hand, here's the thing that I learned. Now, up behind the prison property, there's a whole bunch of public hiking trails. A whole bunch of them. Because there's some really cool views and stuff back up there. If you drive back up there, I don't know if you're interested in doing that, but there's some really cool stuff that I never knew was there unless I'd gone on this life journey that I'm on, trying to figure out how the government makes up regulations and imposes them on you and you don't even know what they are.
Well, you seem pretty well informed on the law. You quoted Missouri from the 10th Circuit, that First Amendment case.
Yeah, I like to keep up on the law, know what society's what's expected of me to operate in this society legally. What's expected of me as a human being to not have to have interactions with government that never needed to be. And why do those interactions happen? I mean, I've been running a business the last few decades, building a business, sitting behind my desk, running my equipment, managing my employees, taking care of stuff. And then one day government came into me with some new rules that I hadn't heard in the decades of running my business. And there was a meeting with DMV Director Julie Butler. And she starts quoting these regulations. And I said, well, what NRS or NAC is this? And she said it was NRS 108.310.
Okay, so it's a Nevada revised statute then.
Yeah, and I read the law, and I speak back up, and this was during the what I call the pandemic. And so we were in a Zoom meeting, and the Zoom meeting was sponsored by the Nevada Trucking Association. So if you want to call him and verify with him this meeting happened, he should have the meeting still recorded, I would hope. I'm praying.
So we're getting a little off the topic about the reason for my call and my article about you on prison property. I'm telling you the road that led me to go down to start recording government. And that's, that's what all this stems from. If you want to know what it stems from, if you go back into my videos, the very, very first video. Well, that would be like me saying that something that happened to me when I was a teenager caused me to, steal a car 20 years down the road. But really what they want to talk about is why did you steal the car?
No.
Let's stay on the prison.
For me, it's about the journey. How did I decide to go to the prison? Well, because I'm looking at what I thought were controversial topics, government creating regulations without any due process. And I'm going, okay, so where can I push the First Amendment?
Well, the right of a prison to preclude people from recording is well established. You cited a case out of the 10th Circuit, Isari, but you didn't cite Kerr v. City of Boulder, also out of the 10th Circuit, which was exactly about YouTubers recording on a prison property, and they were arrested. So this isn't the government making up rules that you are not aware of. You're ignorant of the law, but that does not give you an excuse to violate it, Drew.
Well, no, I would have to disagree.
Do you want me to read a little bit?
I would have to disagree with you, because if you look at NRS 171-1233, and you're talking 10th Circuit with that decision, NRS 171-1233 specifically says you can film peace officers. Nevada is unique in the fact that if you look at NRS, peace officers are prison officials. Most states...
City of Boulder addressed that very issue when the YouTubers went on prison property outside the city of Boulder. Would you like me to read it to you, Drew?
Sure. I'm happy to listen.
Okay. So, in the United States Postal Service v. Council of Greenberg Civic Association, the United States Supreme Court addressed a challenge regarding access to letterboxes, stating in doing so, it is difficult to conceive of any reason why this court should treat a letterbox differently for First Amendment access purposes than it has in the past treated the military base in Gree v. Spock, the jail or prison in Adderley v. Florida, or the advertising space made available in city rapid transit cars. In all of these cases, this court, meaning the Supreme Court, recognized that the First Amendment does not guarantee access to property simply because it is owned or controlled by the government. In Greer v. Spock, the court cited approvingly from its earlier opinion in Adderley v. Florida, which was a case about people going on prison property.
No, that was actually a jail.
Wherein it explained that, quote, the state, no less than a private owner of property, has power to preserve the property under its control for the use to which it is lawfully dedicated. Okay, so this federal judge from the 10th Circuit upheld the conviction of the YouTubers on the prison property and went on to say that the prison and its curtilage, meaning the surrounding property, are non-public forums where your First Amendment rights may be curtailed.
Well, you're mentioning Adderley, and I didn't hear any specific mention of YouTubers in the thing you just quoted, other than the Postal Service.
First Amendment. The Kerr case, Kerr v. City of Boulder, was specifically about YouTubers recording.
Well, and what I'm saying is, you're using Adderley as part of that decision. And Adderley was not YouTubers. Adderley was protesters outside, and it was a sheriff's office. Right. It was a sheriff's office, not a prison. And what they were doing is they were blocking the entrance and the egress of the facility. And the sheriff gave them due process notice. And here's the issue that I was pushing with the prison.
because I agree, case law is actually vague on it as I've investigated it. So where I was pushing, and very clearly, where were the no trespassing signs? Because unless you clearly mark an area as no trespassing, or like in Adderley where the sheriff came out and gave them due process notice that said unless they left, because that's what the sheriff did, in a certain amount of time, they would be arrested. So there was under threat of arrest. So with what I did, and this is exactly what I was pushing, where were the no trespassing signs? And I went back and there are still no trespassing signs, because you want to know why? There's public access down the road. I just deposed William Cuenca, the deputy director of the prisons, and you know what the prison has on that site? They have a commercial, according to him, DMV licensed automotive repair business. So therefore, down that road, anybody can go to check in on that automotive repair business because they are licensed through the DMV. So that road is not private property. It is public property, public access, so the public can access the commercial businesses down that road. The only way...
Well, first, you went way off the road, Drew. You were arrested in the parking lot. You put the prisons on lockdown. You know, my homies in jail aren't going to be real happy when they find out it was you that forced them back in.
Well, if they're unhappy, they can call me up like you're doing, man. I'm good with that. All that I know is case dismissed. Thompson versus Clark.
You read no contest. That's the same as a guilty plea.
No, it's not. Go read Thompson versus Clark. The Supreme Court of the United States.
I'm well aware of Thompson v. Clark.
And what does it say? Unless they get a guilty, they're open to a 1983 lawsuit for malicious prosecution. So therefore, they didn't get guilty. Malicious prosecution applies.
Well, good luck with that, because you were guilty. You were on property that you were not allowed to be on. The government has the right to preserve that property, a prison property, for the use for which it's created.
You know what? You got your opinion, and I got my opinion, and the great news is I filed a lawsuit, so we'll find out.
Yeah, that is great.
So either way, we'll get an answer to the question.
So did you file pro se, or are you going to actually have a lawyer?
You'll have to find out what the strategy is. That's to come.
Well, I'll look it up. I have a Pacer account, so I'll look it up. Yeah. 10th Circuit. You're in the 9th Circuit, right?
No. See, what you're not, you don't know about Mack versus Williams, do you?
No, I can't say I read Mack versus Williams.
Go look up the two key questions that the Nevada Supreme Court answered in Mack versus Williams. You'll like those two key questions. The case is filed in the First Judicial Court of Nevada. Nevada has no qualified immunity. Nevada employees are open to lawsuits. Those are the two questions that the Nevada Supreme Court certified. So
you filed in state court.
Yeah, it's going to be a different court case than the federal courts, because the Nevada Supreme Court has been opening up state employees to accountability. And we're going to find out. Just like I told you, I've got Deputy Bill Cuenca, a lawsuit currently against him, and I've deposed him under this new Supreme Court theory. So that'll be interesting. So all of this will be very public. It'll be great. Either I'll win or I'll lose, and I'll publicize it. And that way, one way or the other, the public will know what are the rules of society.
Yes, Drew. I acknowledge I haven't read Mack v. Williams. Now, I put Kirby, City of Boulder in comments under your YouTube videos, but you always delete them.
No, I don't.
You read that?
I don't.
You read that out of the 10th Circuit?
I don't delete anything. If it gets deleted, it's YouTube doing the deletions, man. I despise any censorship of any kind. You can be against me. I don't give a fuck if you're against me. I'm okay with that.
So you read Kirby, City of Boulder?
No, I haven't read that one, and I'll go read it once I'm done doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, go read it. All right.
But I'm very familiar with that Adderley decision out of Florida. That was like 1972, as I recall, something like that.
Right. So the Kirby city of Boulder. It was only 2020, I think. Let me scroll up here. But anyway, It was specifically about YouTubers with cameras on prison property. So it was absolutely on point. So, and she cited all the other cases that all the YouTubers cite, like Smith v. Cummings and Glick and Cuniff and, she cited all of them and differentiated why, prison property is different and they do not apply. So anyway, good luck with your state court case.
Yeah, we'll see how they go. We'll see how they go. They'll go good, they'll go bad, but at least, like I said, my goal is to figure out where we're at, because that's my confusion with our society is I don't know what the rules are because the black and the white's not enforced.
Here's the thing, Drew. Our government has never been more transparent in the history of the country than it is right now with the advent of the internet.
Agreed.
I file right to know requests all the time, both with state and the federal government, and I get the information in a timely manner. If not, I appeal. So things that you used to have to drive to a different state and go to the office and apply for it, wait for them to mail it to you. You can ask for right now via the internet.
Here, let me give you another challenge, and this isn't on my channel. This is another deal. But if you like to do the public information requests,
no, I don't do them frivolously. I've done them in my life when I need to know something that I have to know for a court or for an actual reason, not just because I'm testing whether or not they give it to me, because they always have.
Yeah, Washoe County is not.
I don't go walking into offices just to create YouTube videos to get YouTube clout and make money.
Well, then here,
I'm a serious man. I file right to know requests when I need information.
Let me tell you an interesting story then.
They've always been cooperative.
Let me tell you
without me interrupting them at work.
Right.
When they get it to me in a timely manner as the law requires.
Let me give you an interesting story then. There's a man named Tom Green that I'm friends with. Tom Green is the ex-deputy chief of the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. So you'd probably agree he's born in the blue line guy.
This is, for me, it's not about supporting the police. It's about wasting taxpayer resources and money so you can make YouTube money. That's what it's about for me.
Nah, see, I'm what I'm fighting against is the government waste of money. So like Washoe County spent $140 million on a homeless center with a 4-story parking garage. What does a government agency need a 4-story parking garage for a homeless center for?
Okay, the government does waste tons of money. Why would you want to jump on the bandwagon and help waste more?
Well, because if you find out where it's at, then if you find out where the wasteful money's coming from and where it's going to, hopefully you can stop it.
You can do all that via the internet. You can do all that with right-to-know requests in email. That way they're time-stamped and date-stamped on the email. They can't get away with anything because it's all in writing. You don't have to go accost someone. Most of the people that have a bad reaction, Drew, are camera shy. I'm camera shy. That doesn't mean you're trying to withhold something or you're corrupt. There's lots of narcissists that love the camera, but there's lots of camera shy people and introverts who don't want to be splattered all over YouTube. That does not mean they're corrupt.
I don't call those guys corrupt. I just call the ones that don't do their job corrupt. So if you don't want to do your job, don't do your job. So like, for example, right now, I'm heading over to see Mr. Woodbury, the district attorney for Carson City, to get some information from him. Now, his employees, the first time I went in there, if you go watch the video, they ran and hid in the back and made Mr. Woodbury come out, and they still run and hide in the back, and the boss comes out and talks to me. And you know what? I respect that. They don't want to be on there. Their boss takes responsibility. That's cool. I don't say anything bad about that. On the other hand, if you want to come up to the camera like a lot of these people do and get in the camera's face and make a statement, I don't know what to tell you, but you should probably just do what Jason Woodbury's employees do, which is go hide in the back and let the boss take care of it.
Before you start doing this, you've watched tons of other frauditor videos. You know that they get that reaction from people who are introverts and camera shy because it's weird. It's accusatory by its very nature when you know that you're not a newsworthy person. You're just a normal stiff going about your day, and some weirdo's recording you. Of course you're going to wonder why, and you know that. You're old enough to understand that human reaction. It's normal. So for them to say, what are you doing, is completely normal. But you guys switched into, oh, well, you want it, you're going to get it. And then you let them have it, and then you splatter them all over YouTube and ridicule them. It's disgusting.
Well,
Look, I got to go, Drew. Nice talking to you.
Yep.
I got to get this to my editor at Fraudit or Troll before he closes for the day.
Okay, you get that posted on your side, and I'll get this posted on my side.